Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody out there, depending on where you are, right? What coast you're on, your physical, geographical location, and all that kind of fun stuff. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up, Queen's Throne? What's up, Third Eye? So, listen, I come through really quickly, and this kind of happened unexpectedly, right? Because I know many of you are, hey, Nakai. I know many of you are trying to get some confirmation. I'm just here to let me tell you straight up, there is none yet. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, right now, this very moment, social media is lit up. Okay, lit up. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's fake news. I don't know if this is a publicity stunt, but it is being said, that Kevin Samuels has passed away at the age of 56. But that's not really why I'm talking about it, or it's not really why I'm not really one to try to be first on stuff like that, or reporting stuff or vlogging. Like, I don't care about being first. Hey, Shannon, good to see you, babe. Hope you're well. It's not even about that for me. I'm tripping out on how y'all are reacting to this news. Like, what? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I honestly never took the time. I mean, I'm aware of who he is, who Kevin Samuels is. I never actually sat down, took the time to get to know him and get to know his skilo and all that. Like, I never really, it's just, it's just not something that ever really came of interest to me. It's kind of like, some of the guys that like to bash on women, there's a couple of them here on the on the on the social medias, on the internet. There's a couple of guys that do that, right? That's their whole thing. Or they do the whole opposite thing, like Darren Jackson over there, right? I love you. I'll show you how to be a good man. I'll show you how to be a good man. Then you get caught cheating on your wife, who's who's been really good to you, right? More than once. But while trying to give other women advice, okay? Whole time, it's kind of reminds me almost of kind of like how Drake does with his sneaky stuff, right? Hitting people's wives in the DMs and just trolling, on some mad troll stuff. But no, like, honestly, it's not even, it's not even about like for me, but listen, let me just tell you what people know so far, right? So there's a couple of actually a couple of photos that are making its way around, okay, the social medias. And yeah, I would say pretty much like two screenshots that are of interest to me. So again, this could be a publicity stunt, right? This could be so not true. Like he just went viral recently over an interaction with a woman. I mean, I even discussed it on my channel. When that lady, she was like, "Yo, how can I land a man of high caliber, right? I'm a your average woman. I want to land a man of what is it, high status or high caliber or valuable status or whatever." Okay, and he told her she would need to be reincarnated. That shit is still funny though. Like, listen, the thing is, you don't have to agree with everything somebody says, But yeah, I didn't really, I didn't follow him like that. Like, not like that, like that. But listen, you better take this as a lesson, okay? That the way people are reacting right now and the possibility that Kevin Samuels could be dead, okay? It is being said that he was found um, basically of cardiac arrest, right? Of a heart attack, a sudden type of thing. Again, there's a few screenshots, very interesting screenshots that are being passed around on the Twitterverse and Instagram, basically where someone's saying, "Yes, this man died this morning. My husband was one of the officers who secured the building he stayed in." Then, of course, we've got other people, Grady Hospital paramedic was on the scene. Okay. Yes, he's passed away, right? It's going to take Kevin Samuels or his family or someone close to him to come out and make a statement of some kind, right? To tell the world or let the world know sort of, what's going on with them. So, um, but there was also a screenshot going around of a call to authorities reporting that a man was, yeah, this one here. So this was the call remarks, right? Caller advised she doesn't know the apartment number, but to ask for Kevin Samuels at the front desk. Caller advises there is an unresponsive male at the location, breathing but not alert or conscious. Something Grady, right? Grady. That makes sense because didn't we just, yeah, Grady something. I can't, it's, you know, I get the tactic, but sometimes all of that tagging and stuff just gets on my last nerves because it's like you may not be the first to be out here reporting something, but golly, you want to make sure that that screenshot going around has your name. I get it. I get it. Okay. It says no gate code. Then there's an apartment number, but it's blurred out, right? It's blurred out. So those are really the two screenshots, really that are people are referring to, right? Again, this is really not so much about coming up here discussing whether he's passed away or not. I'm not here to confirm that. Have no idea. There is no confirmation yet that I know of, but the reaction, wow, 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 like, wow, like I'm serious. The reaction to the possibility that Kevin Samuels has passed away is almost too hard to even do this and come up here with a straight face. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, it's bad. It's bad. The reaction. It's bad. And we're talking about, how old videos, old viral videos all of a sudden go viral again, right? Memes. This is the very definition of times when memes get but crazy. Okay. Um, People are actually celebrating the possibility that Kevin Samuels has passed away, believe it or not. You know, I think Kevin Samuels is also known for uh, the viral videos with the suits, right? With the man's suit, with several young black men leaders of their community. Um, just donning a new type of day, a new type of dress, right? With the suits. Uh, I like a nice fitting suit though, right? I'm sure men don't like to wear them all the time. Ain't nothing wrong with a nice fitting suit. I mean, some of these suits go into some pretty obnoxious amounts of money, right? There's people again are as you can just see what's on the screen here, right? I don't have the audio up. I'm just letting you get a feel for how social media is actually reacting to the possibility that Kevin Samuels could be dead or even in hospital. Again, in one of those screenshots, it says very clearly that um, he was breathing but not responsive. So, for all anybody knows, he could be at the ER right now, right? But again, not really why I made this video. It's the reaction. And I mean, it's brutal, okay? Brutal. I'm letting you see the memes, okay? I don't need to turn the audio up, okay? Look at the caption, okay? I mean, I guess it's a lesson in like, even if you die, don't expect a bitch to have any empathy or sympathy, right? Especially if you are out here, hurting people's feelings all the time. Um, I mean, I've seen a couple comments he's made that just I was like, "Really? You mean to tell me anybody over the age of 35, what was it? Anyone over the age of 35 who was divorced or something like that or not married or something was like leftovers or some shit." I was like, "Really, dude?" Well, I could say the same for okay, well, let me talk a little shit about some of y'all men then. Like, come on. Come on. Yeah. Like I think I'm a real living true example of how really like life it may start one way, but it surely can go another. And it's really all depending on what you do with it. But this is the reaction. Look at the meme that you see on the screen. People are celebrating. And I'm here to say that it's absolutely disgusting to be doing that. Okay. I don't really have like a strong opinion on it one way or the other. I'm just here to tell you what's going on. That's it. So don't try to crucify me or hold me to the fire. But more memes, okay. It's captioned with the person who started the Kevin Samuels death rumors. Watching Twitter folks believe it. I mean, y'all are something else. Okay. Look at some of these memes now. If that Kevin Samuels news is true, Nene leaks. Having just a good old time driving her. I mean, what is that? Not a Rolls Royce, but a whatever SUV, right? All that thought. Let me fix this here. Okay. Oh yeah, they're celebrating the Kai. Like that's yeah. Leaked footage of Kevin Samuel's funeral procession. And listen, I know that he probably, I'm sure he has family and all that stuff that care about him and all that kind of stuff. Again, I'm not here reporting on it, their family member or friend's death, or I'm not reporting that. I'm just telling you what's going on social media right now. That's it, and that's all. And I'm not here putting my heart into it like that. So I just want to be clear about that. Not heartless, okay? I don't have anything to do with the reputation this man may have built out here and the after effect or the sting of what people feel. But you better take it as a lesson of, like I said, if you die suddenly tomorrow, don't expect empathy and sympathy from social media to report that you passed away with any sort of empathy and sympathy. It's possible. It's just possible that the internet could celebrate. Okay. That is a possibility, as you can see. Wow, man. By the way, Kevin Samuels, the name is currently trending, all right, on all social media. I would say Twitter is a lot of times like one of the best platforms where you can like really gauge what the internet is thinking, okay? The internet's feeling, what the internet is thinking, that sort of a thing. If you want more long term type trends or information, then Google Trends. But look at these memes. Caption Kevin Samuels got to do a vlog and hop out the casket like, I think they were trying to say, damn. Wow, y'all are. Like, what do you guys think about this? This is captioned, you are a sick individual if you're celebrating the death of Kevin Samuels. Me? Me at Kevin Samuels' funeral once I realized we don't have to hear his discriminatory speeches. Wow. You guys. Y'all. Is this heartless? Well, listen, I don't know.
Oh, there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord. Well, let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong,
Wow.
but you didn't have to say it. I mean,
let's let the internet speak for itself right now.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Ain't no fucking way, boy.
Kevin Samuels died. This is the caption. Okay. Oh wow, that he's dancing on a casket. Oh wow, wow. I have never seen that clip. Wow, y'all are cold with it. Y'all are cold. Okay. Well, you never know. We may get some information in the next few minutes or whatnot. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a some sort of a confirmation, right? A question I would ask for Kevin Samuels, one of the questions I would have asked, does he feel the same way about some of these celebrity women that he does about your average women out here? Like, did he feel the same way, right? As far as the things he would say, but I don't know. Dude was very brutal in some of his commentary, is all I'm saying. And I think that's why you're seeing the reaction that you are. So, y'all, I'll definitely keep you posted. Now, is it like I'm curious what y'all's thoughts are. Like, would you date somebody that has HIV? I think that it's a question, a valid question to be asked in 2022. Okay. Because it's definitely not 1980 anymore, right? It's not like when I mean, I remember the conversation of HIV. What? That's AIDS? That's death. Like it was immediately thought of like as death, right? You're gonna die. If you, I mean, oh, back in the 80s when AIDS was actually, it became known as a disease and all that sort of a thing. Like I remember like Patient X, right? I think they called him Patient X or Patient Zero, one of the two. A Canadian guy, or maybe he was from the UK, but I know he was a flight attendant. And he was supposedly the first man or the first human being or known human being to have had HIV. And again, like, Dallas, the Dallas Buyers Club was a movie. Matthew McConaughey was in that movie, actually did a really good job presenting someone that it just gave a really good representation of what it was like in the 80s being diagnosed with HIV, right? So imagine being in 2022 and now you've got people are able to take medication that's actually suppressing the virus or the viral load right in their blood. But now there's actually talk of cures happening. There's even talks and discussions of people that um, have managed to get like the viral load underneath like a certain count or whatnot, right? People, it's not actually transferring in through sexual contact, right? And I'm curious what the thoughts are out there in the world. Like, what does that mean to your everyday man and woman walking around? Like, does that change what your choice or selection would be? Like, would you date someone that has HIV if you don't? Right. And so, yeah, that's the question that I'm posing. I'm actually really curious what some of y'all's thoughts would be on this. So, check this out though. A third person has supposedly been cured of HIV. This is actually being reported by scientists. This is actually being reported by scientists. This was reported in Live Science. A woman became the third person ever to be cured of HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, after she received a stem cell transplant that used cells from umbilical cord blood. Scientists actually reported this back on February 15th this year. The two other people cured of HIV, and we've actually got names here. Listen to this: Timothy Brown and Adam Castillo both received bone marrow transplants from donors who carried a genetic mutation that blocks HIV infection. These transplants contained adult, I'm not even going to try to say that word, but hematopoietic, maybe I'm close, but stem cells, which are stem cells that develop into all types of blood cells, including white blood cells, a key component of the immune system. This genetic mutation is rare and has been identified in only about 20,000 bone marrow donors to date. Now, the New York Times has actually reported on that, on that number. The bone marrow transplant procedure itself takes a heavy toll on the body, both during the highly invasive procedure and for some time afterward. In both Timothy Brown and Adam Castillo, immune cells from the donor's blood marrow launched an attack against cells in the patient's bodies. This condition is known as graft versus host disease. Following this initial reaction, though, both men were cured of HIV. Essentially, it's like once they got that bone marrow transplant, which is a very dangerous procedure, okay? essentially like their new bone marrow went in and ate up the old virus, or ate up the virus that was in their bodies. It's a very interesting question, I think. Now, this third woman who was recently cured of HIV, had a very different experience from the two men that were cured before her. She actually left the hospital, okay, after 17 days after her procedure, okay, um, and without any signs of graft versus host disease. So the New York Times has actually reported that her case seems to dispel an existing theory that triggering graft versus host disease might be a necessary step, and even, might that it even has to be a necessary step in curing someone of HIV. Dr. Sharon Lewin, president elect of the International AIDS Society, who was not involved in the work, has also talked about this to the New York Times. In addition to being HIV positive, this woman had acute myeloid leukemia, a cancer that affects blood forming cells in the bone marrow. She had received the umbilical cord blood as both a treatment for the cancer and for her HIV, as her doctors identified a donor with the HIV blocking genetic mutation. Cord blood, umbilical cord blood, contains a high quantity. I may be, is it hematopoietic stem? I'm not sure how to say that, but it has a very high quantity of these stem cells. This blood is actually collected at the time of a baby's birth and then donated by the parents. According to Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. By the way, I don't know if you've ever heard of Memorial Sloan Cancer Center, but they are known as a pretty good cancer center. You could put it in the category of like a John Hopkins and that sort of a thing. Yeah, Queen, they say it's also very painful to get a bone marrow transplant. I mean, it's almost like taking out your inside, porting it over. But yeah, they say people are like really weak. A cold can be easily transferred to people, after a procedure like that sort of a thing. But umbilical cord blood offers an advantage over bone marrow because donors don't need to be closely matched to their transplant recipient. Ain't that something? So for bone marrow transplants, doctors check the donors and recipients' HLA tissue type, which refers to whether the individuals carry specific proteins called HLAs in the tissues of their bodies. HLAs come in different flavors, and these flavors must be closely matched between a bone marrow donor and a recipient to avoid a catastrophic immune reaction. But because a baby's immune system is still quite immature at the time of birth, the HLAs of the baby and cord blood recipient don't have to match as closely as the HLAs of a bone marrow donor and recipient. The baby's immature cells adapt to the recipient's body more easily than an adult cells. So in this woman's case, her donor was partially matched. And she also received stem cells from a close relative to help booster her immune system after the transplant procedure. The transplant from the relative is like a bridge that got her through to the point of the cord blood being able to take over. Now, this lady's procedure took place in August of 2017, okay? She elected to stop taking antiretroviral drugs. This is the standard treatment for HIV. 37 months after her transplant. Well, actually, more than 14 months after her transplant, there is still no trace of the virus, the HIV virus, or antibodies against the virus that can be found in her blood. So, this woman's case is actually part of a larger study that will follow, my understanding, like 25 people that currently have HIV. And these individuals will undergo an umbilical cord stem cell transplant for the treatment of cancer. And the trial organizers will then monitor them to see whether their HIV status changes following the procedure. So, in general, umbilical cord blood is more widely available, it's more easily matched to recipients than the bone marrow. So, some scientists think that the procedure may be more accessible than bone marrow transplants for HIV patients. Estimate that there is an estimate that approximately 50 patients per year in the United States could actually benefit from that procedure. Director of the stem cell transplant program at Well Cornell Medicine, okay, and one of the doctors that was involved in her treatment said that nearly 38 million people are currently living with HIV, and the ability to use partially matched umbilical cord blood grafts greatly increases the likelihood of finding suitable donors for such patients. I think it's a very encouraging um, step in the treatment of HIV, especially, being the fact that we've literally watched how that treatment and everything has progressed since the 80s. I think it's a great step. So would you date someone that has HIV? This is a question I want you to think about. Feel free to leave a comment underneath the video or whatnot. I'm just curious, what are some of the responses are that would come back from just the normal general population out there. Anyway, let's do one more sweep here. All right. Let's do one more sweep. Hold on. Let's do one more sweep. See if anything, if there's any other, updates, right? Go to top here. I mean, honestly, this is probably the quickest way to, but tweet count is actually only increased. Oh, wow. I almost shouldn't say this. I almost don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. So you mean to tell me that George Zimmerman is out on a tour signing autographs? Are you serious? Really? Why isn't anybody jumping on his stage? Like this one dude's stage. Okay, I'll shut up. I just brought that up, because I seen that Dave Chappelle had, he was talking about it with the incident that happened with that man in LA or, California, right? District attorney refused to push felony charges on the dude. Apparently, the dude has like 2 broken arms and like security apparently really, really jacked him up. Like, I think part of his punishment could possibly be like what security did to him after the fact. But it will be misdemeanor. But yeah, I had no idea that that killer was on a tour signing autographs. Like that dude just really disgusts me. And it's like everybody wants to get into these trends, right? Jumping on stage and shit. Well, that's one stage that I wouldn't care if somebody jumped on and would be the first to report. So forgive me, but don't forgive me. Don't really care how you feel about it. Um, Look how fast those tweets are moving. Okay, look how fast that's moving. I mean, like this is serious trending. All right. Serious trending. Absolutely no update on social media at all. Um, some people are saying, could this be possible publicity stunt? Who knows? But keep in mind those, those photos, right? it's just kind of crazy to see like social media celebrating, right? It's crazy to me. What in the world is going on here? Oh, that's just gross. When I'm sorry, y'all, what you know. It just caught me. I'm about to get up off here, but just looking at that photo, like the only reason that girl is, he must have some money, right? It's just so shallow and so typical, right? Yeah, man, people, we got to get our news from Twitter these days. It is sad. Like there is no such thing as mainstream media. Let me tell you, the truth is, I first heard this a couple hours ago. So, you know, um, there's actually been people discussing this and talking about this for all day, essentially. And so at this point, with there not being any sort of confirmation or any sort of understanding on where things currently stand, speculation is just continues to grow. And that's just the truth of the matter. So, anyway, I'll throw that one up there. Anyway, guys, that's all I had for right now. I think I removed I was going to do one video talk about a 13-year-old girl in India, but I'm not going to even do that. I don't really want to talk about the R thing, right? And how in the world somebody could ask the police for help after being gang raped, and then the same police officer they asked for help turns around and rapes them. It's like crazy to me, right? But no, I let's see what happens, right? You guys make sure you go hit the leakyou.com channel. Make sure you sub to the subsequent channels. All right. I pretty much like split my commentary up amongst whatever it is I'm talking about at that time. And that's how you keep up with me. It ain't really about YouTube for me. I'm kind of like pushing past that. Sometimes it's kind of crazy. I get like way more views on Twitter though than I even do on YouTube. Like I'm pleasantly surprised. So just search Leak You, Google it, Dogpile it, and that's how you'll find me. Because don't ever look for me just on one platform. We're past that at this point. Until next time, guys.